Section 8. Buddha's Virtue. Buddha receives the respect of the world because of 5 virtues: superior conduct, superior point of view, perfect wisdom, superior preaching ability, and the power to lead people to the practice of his teaching. In addition, 8 other virtues enable Buddha to bestow blessings and happiness upon the people: the ability to bring immediate benefits in the world through the practice of his teaching, the ability to judge correctly between good and bad, right and wrong, the ability to lead people to enlightenment by teaching the right way, the ability to lead all people by an equal way, the ability to avoid pride and boasting, the ability to do what he has spoken, the ability to say what he has done, and thus doing, to fulfill the vows of his compassionate heart. Through meditation, Buddha preserves a calm and peaceful spirit, radiant with mercy, compassion, happiness, and even equanimity. He deals equitably with all people, cleansing their minds of defilement and bestowing happiness in a perfect singleness of spirit. Buddha is both father and mother to the people of the world. For 16 months after a child is born, the father and mother have to speak to him in babyish words. Then gradually they teach him to speak as an adult. Like earthly parents, Buddha first takes care of the people and then leaves them to care for themselves. He first brings things to pass according to their desires, and then he brings them to a peaceful and safe shelter. What Buddha preaches in his language, people receive and assimilate in their own language as if it were intended exclusively for them. Buddha's state of mind surpasses human thought. It cannot be made clear by words. It can only be hinted at in parables. The Ganges River is stirred up by the tramping of horses and elephants and disturbed by the movements of fish and turtles. But the river flows on, pure and undisturbed by such trifles. Buddha is like the great river. The fish and turtles of other teachings swim about in its depths and push against its current, but in vain. Buddha's Dharma flows on, pure and undisturbed. Buddha's wisdom, being perfect, keeps away from extremes of prejudice and preserves a moderation that is beyond all words to describe. Being all-wise, he knows the thoughts and feelings of all men and realizes everything in this world in a moment. As the stars of heaven are reflected in the calm sea, so people's thoughts, feelings, and circumstances are reflected in the depths of Buddha's wisdom. That is why Buddha is called the perfectly enlightened one, the omniscience. Buddha's wisdom refreshes the arid minds of people, enlightens them and teaches them the significance of this world, its causes and its effects, appearings and disappearings. Indeed, without the aid of Buddha's wisdom, what aspect of the world is at all comprehensible for people? Buddha does not always appear as a Buddha. Sometimes he appears as an incarnation of evil, sometimes as a woman, a god, a king, or a statesman. Sometimes he appears in a brothel or in a gambling house. In an epidemic, he appears as a healing physician, and in war, he preaches forbearance and mercy for the suffering people. For those who believe that things are everlasting, he preaches transiency and uncertainty. For those who are proud and egoistic, he preaches humility and self-sacrifice. For those who are entangled in the web of worldly pleasures, he reveals the misery of the world. The work of Buddha is to manifest in all affairs and on all occasions the pure essence of Dharmakaya, the absolute nature of Buddha. So Buddha's mercy and compassion flow out from this Dharmakaya in endless life and boundless light, bringing salvation to mankind. The world is like a burning house that is forever being destroyed and rebuilt. People, being confused by the darkness of their ignorance, lose their minds in anger, displeasure, jealousy, prejudice, and worldly passion. They are like the babies in need of a mother. Everyone must be dependent upon Buddha's mercy and compassion. Buddha is a father to all the world. All human beings are the children of Buddha. Buddha is the most saintly of saints. The world is afire with disrepute and death. There is suffering everywhere. But people, engrossed in the vain search for worldly pleasure, are not wise enough to fully realize this. Buddha saw that this world of delusion was really a burning house, so he turned from it and found refuge and peace in the quiet forest. There, out of his great compassion, he calls to us. This world of change and suffering belongs to me. All these ignorant, heedless people are my children, and I am the only one who can save them from their delusion and misery. As Buddha is the great king of the Dharma, he can preach to all people as he wishes. Buddha appears in the world to bless the people. To save them from suffering, he preaches the Dharma. But the ears of people are dulled by greed, and they are inattentive. But those who listen to his teachings are free from the delusions and the miseries of life. People cannot be saved by relying on their own wisdom, he said, and through faith they must enter into my teaching. Therefore, one should listen to the Buddha's teaching and put it into practice.